going on, guys, and welcome to a video today. So I'm going to do a little training tutorial of chest, triceps and shoulders. So it's a push style workout I'm going to run you through. I'm going to teach you all the little dynamics and all the little exercises that you need to know. I'm going to teach you the how and the why as well. So stick around and give this a watch. Starting off, we're just going to do a quick warm up. So I've got a resistant band. You can do this at home. If not, you can use a towel, exact same situation. So what you're going to do is grab a nice width. You're going to stretch your arms out, so keep your arms nice and straight, nice and locked. What we're going to do is we're going to start from the hips, straight arms. You're going to rotate the shoulders nicely all the way back, keeping those arms straight, come down to your hips. This is working your shoulder rotation cuffs. We're just opening up those joints, opening up those ligaments, preparing for this workout. So it's just a small exercise. If it's too easy, rotate them. To make it a little bit harder, you can just go with your hands slightly more inwards with the band. Do the same thing, stretch out, and then try go over, and you might find it a little bit harder. So go to that level where you can just feel it, stretching those arms, nice and straight round, okay? So we're gonna probably do about 10 each side, just a slight warm up, okay? That's now your shoulder rotations cuffs. Now you can do a lot of exercises to warm up. Now a lot of people will say static stretches are quite good, but that's not gonna increase your heart rate. Now what we wanna do, for this type of exercise of work, we're gonna be working on muscle building and sort of defining sort of work. So this is going to cause, we need to be able to up your heart rate so we can get your blood pumping, get those muscles prepared and warmed up, okay? So we don't want to be static, we don't want to be stood still. What we're going to do is we're going to jog on a spot just for a little bit of seconds. Just shake those arms around because this is what we're going to be using. So we're trying to keep it sport specific, training specific. So we're just moving our arms, shaking them around a bit, rotate your shoulders. Then we're going to go to skipping rope, okay? So now, imagine you're skipping a rope, you're twisting your wrists, and we're now waking up those joints in those wrists, waking them up. Increase our heart rate by doing this little sort of jog, jumping up and down a little bit, just to slightly warm up. Now you can do nice big shoulder circles. So we're going to straight arms, try and brush it out your ears, rotating around. You do 5 each side, and then we're going to go backwards. Do 5 that way. Now, do the same, but we're going to go forward and we're going to do small ones. Now these are just to sort of hit different angles of your shoulder cuffs. So we're going to start engaging your back a little bit so you can feel it in traps. You can feel it up there. And we're just engaging those muscles, preparing nice and warm. Go backwards. It's nice and warmed up on those arms and those shoulders. Okay, so that's the main part of the warm-up done. So this specific workout is a shoulder focused workout for me today. So on another video I'll do a chest focused one, but today's shoulders. So we're going to start with a compound movement. Now compound movement is a large muscle group. So a compound is loads of different muscles in one exercise. So it's a lot greater task. If it's an isolation movement, you're working on a singular part of the muscle, which is more isolated to focus on that typical area. So for instance, what we're going to start with, I'll show you through it anyway and I'll teach you through as we go along. But a shoulder compound movement, for instance, is an overhead press, where this engages all parts of your muscles. So this is going to engage your front deltoid, your side deltoid, and also your rear delts. Now that's a compound because it's engaging 3 different types of muscle groups into the same. It's the same muscle, like in the area, but you're engaging 3 different types of that muscle. So that's what makes it a compound. Isolation, if you were to do side lateral raises, which is those ones when you go to the side, that's only engaging in the side part of your deltoid. Now that's an isolation movement. So now you get the gist of that. I'm going to run you through the workout just today, okay? So, and I'll teach you through the key points, the tips, tricks, and how to perform the exercise and the repetitions that you need in all the rest periods. So stick around and let's get right on to this workout. Okay, so the first exercise that we're going to be working in is the overhead shoulder press. Now I've got dumbbells, so if you're working at home, if you've got dumbbells, fantastic, but if you've got a resistant band, that's just as fine. Now, what we're going to do is, because we want to prepare the muscles into this exercise, we don't want to go in heavy-hearted now, because that will cause injury. What we want to do is start light work, just so we can prepare that muscle, engage the muscles ready before we go into our hard top working sets. So, I've got a resistant band, for instance. What I'm going to be doing is, the band's connected onto my feet, so you can't see it because the camera's too high. But the band's under my feet, so it's locked. Then I'm going to bring the band up, tuck my elbows in, so you've got your wrists nice and locked and your palms are facing up and your elbows are tucked in, okay? So what you're going to want to do is just stick your chest out slightly, don't bend that back too much, keep that core engaged so we're nice and tight in this core. Okay, we want that stabilization. Then we're going to press towards the ceiling. Imagine you're bringing your whole body straight. You're going to come slowly back down, just towards your chin where the band's there, and that's the movement you want to be doing, okay? You want to keep that control, and you want to keep the tension. So nice and slow movement, so 1, 2, hold, 1, 2. And we're going to do this for 10 reps, okay? Now why do we do it nice and slow? The reason we do it slow is to be able to keep the tension under control. And then we want to be able to keep the muscle engaged as much as possible, and by doing that, we have full control so we can't cause injury, we can't lose our shoulder, and also we're going to be creating a more resistance on those shoulders, so we're going to be ripping microfiber tears in those muscles. And once we rip microfiber tears, that's what causes hypertrophy, because as they regrow from your nutrition, they repair and then they duplicate, and that's what causes the growth of the muscle, so that's why they get bigger. So now that we've done that warm-up, we're going to work into our working sets now. So we're going to do 3 sets of heavy dumbbells, so go for a weight that you're comfortable with and you can get the right control, because at the moment I want you all to be focusing on technique rather than going with a heavy ego lifting. So that's the main point. Go for a weight that you're comfortable with, that you can know you can hit about 10 to 12 reps, and that will cause you to be able to work hard enough, but you're also in control of the weight. If you start going really heavy and you start struggling by 6, 7, 8 reps, and your form's going out of place, you're gonna probably cause more injury and you probably won't hit the workout as good as you want to. So, it's a psychological factor. So what we're gonna do, exactly with the dumbbells, you're gonna have your dumbbells, swing them up. If you've got a seat, that's even better, but if you're stood up, same position, wrists are nice and locked, and we're gonna power it up, up, hold, 1, 2, press, 1, 2, I'll show you from the side so you can see my back is slightly arched, nice and straight though. Press into the sky, above my head. 1, 2, press. 1, and you're breathing out, going up. Nice breathing through the nose, and up. And hitting 12 if you can. 1 more. And that's the shoulder press, okay? So you're gonna be doing that 3 sets. Do that at your own comfortable pace. So for your rest period, you want to be aiming between about 30 seconds to a minute between those rests. If you haven't got hard enough weight and you've only got resistant bands, try and shrink that rest period, recovery, down to about 20 seconds to 30 seconds, because what you want to be focusing on is tension if you've got resistant bands. So more slower movements, really engaging those muscles, really feel them burning, really feel them agitating, okay? So, I'm really out of breath on that. Whew. So, that is the main compound movement we're going to be working on first, okay? So that's the shoulder press. Just aim for 3 sets, between 10 and 12 reps with a comfortable weight. If you find the weight's too easy, increase the weight slightly, so you want to be able to try and hit 10 as your least reps. So, with that saying though, let's get to the second exercise. Okay, so the second exercise we're going to be doing, we're going to be working on isolation movement. So, if you're looking to get bigger shoulders and you want to be able to build that V upper body taper shape, so you want to be able to have those shoulders nice and wide and then the thin waist, like a lot of bodybuilders do. So to be able to do this, a lot of people think by doing a lot of overhead presses is going to cause that. It will work your side lateral raise slightly, but it's mainly forced on the whole deltoid. Now to be able to create that outer shape, you want to be able to work on your side laterals a lot. So the next exercise we're going to be doing is called dumbbell side lateral raises. So we're not going to worry too much of going into warm-up sets of this one, because our shoulders should be nice and warmed up and already prepared now. So after taking that 30 seconds or 1 minute break from the previous exercise, we're going to get our dumbbells. We're going to stand up nice and tall, chest poked out, core engaged, slightly bend the knees, because what this will do is we'll stop allowing swinging. So we slightly bend the knees, keep the chest up nice and high, feel that core engaged. From here what we're going to do is keep our wrists locked, and we want to drive the elbows up. So we come into the side. Elbows should be nice and high. Your wrists should not be above your elbows. If they are, they're going to be causing more front deltoids than sides. So, we're aiming again, 3 sets, 10 to 12. Nice to breathe out at the top. Hold, slow negative down. 1, down. You should feel this, a nice stretch. Nice big contraction in those side lateral raises. Side deltoids. 1 more. There we go. So, same again, 3 sets, work about 10 to 12 reps, go for a weight that you're comfortable with. You want to be focusing more on that side part here. So keep that elbow to the side of you. You want to be focusing it to be nice and straight, okay? That's the position you want to be. Regardless if your hand comes quite wide, it will be a little bit more hard when you come out wide, so you can stay with the arm at a 90-degree bend. So as you're coming up, your wrists stay nice and locked. You should feel a nice contraction in that side lateral raise there, which is this muscle here. Okay, so after that exercise, let's move into the third exercise that we're going to be doing for our shoulders. So now we're moving on to the third and final exercise for our shoulders, and we're going to be working on a front delt. As we've hit a compound movement, so we've hit all areas, which is focused on the major part of the deltoids. We've worked on side laterals, so we've worked the sides. Now we want to be able to work the fronts. So this will be able to cause that outer shape that comes forward to give you that bulgy look, that nice upper body physique. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using dumbbells. Now, for this one, I'll go show the technique first. So we're going to have straight arms, nice and wrists locked, and we're going to just keep the chest up, keep the core engaged at all times. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep the knees slightly bent, so we're not going to hyperextend them. So hyperextension is basically where they're straight and they bend the other way. We don't want that because it's going to cause injury, obviously. So straight arms, and what we're going to do is keep that chest up. We're going to breathe out, coming up. Straight arms, nice in front of you, so you're literally at that 90 degrees. And we're going to slowly come down, and then kind of come back up. Same again, 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps. That same rest period in between each one, you're looking at about 30 seconds to a minute, okay? So, I'll show you from the side angles, straight arms, come back a bit so you can see me. So straight arms, we're going knees bent, chest out, and we're going up. 1, 2, eliminate any swinging. 3, 4, so that's what you want to be looking at, nice and sturdy. If you're swinging, you'll be able to know, because when you're there, you'll start using your body to swing the motion up. Now that's taking any tension away from your shoulders, which you don't want because it won't be working the muscle as greatly as you need to. So, those are your shoulders done. Let's move on. Let's start with our 2 exercises of our chest, 2 exercises of our triceps, and that's this workout completed. Okay, so now we're going to be working on the chest. So we're going to be working on 2 exercises. Now we're going to do this as a superset, okay? So we're going to be able to focus on really good tension because we're looking at lower weights at the moment. If you have high weights, work them in 2 different sets and things like that because we want to have a nice rest period in between. But because I've got lower weights, I'm going to be working on supersets so I can control the muscle a lot better, get that tension out, basically cause more blood flow into that muscle and tear it more so I can build that bit better. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on the compound movement first, as we always do. We always work with compound first, then work into isolation, okay? Because you want to work the most muscle groups first, then work in single-handed, okay? So what we're going to do is, if you have a bench, even better, but if you just have the floor like me, then what we're going to do is a flat bench chest press. So, for this one, you're going to lie flat on the floor, okay? Feet planted. Then, what you want to do is slightly arch in your back, okay? So you should have your chest poked up, core is engaged. Now what you want to do is pinch your shoulder blades into the floor, okay? This will cause more stability and structure, okay? So it will keep you over stabilization, okay? So, what we want to do is we're going to move the dumbbells up, put your elbows down first so you don't lose any control, pinch your shoulder blades back. Then what we're going to do is dumbbells to the center of my chest. Then what we're going to do is we're going to push, press to the sky, and we're going to slowly negative down to the chest, okay? So don't touch the floor with your elbows because you lose the tension. Powering it back up. Power it back up, okay? Now these are working your major pectoral muscles, which is the upper, lower, and middle of your pecs. And what we're doing is we're aiming for 3 sets of 10 to 12 again, okay? So slow control, power, 1, 2, hold, push. Okay, and your elbows want to be coming at 45 degrees, so they're slightly inwards. This controls all that muscle group. Now, if you're doing the superset like me, we're going to go to a chest fly. So start now with your hands up in the air, keep your same body position, shoulder blades back, and what we're going to do is we're going to come nice and wide, dropping those elbows, keeping those wrists locked, squeeze it up through the chest, okay? So your arms come straight. Don't push through your arms, squeeze it through your chest. Breathe in, breathe out. Same again, 10 to 12. Now this is working wide your chest, okay? So we're looking at building a nice wide pecs to have that nice broad upper body. And there you go. So that should be really aggravating on your chest. Now it should be working a lot harder because you've worked a lot of shoulders. Now it's going to hurt your shoulders a little bit because in a push motion, you're working not only your chest, you're working the shoulders and you're working partly the triceps as well. Because those are the muscle groups that all work correspondingly in order to give that push motion. So, again, 3 sets, 10 to 12 of that superset. That's your chest exercise. And we're going to work on now 2 exercises of a superset of triceps. And let's get on to it. For the tricep exercise we're going to do as a superset, we're going to be doing a skull crusher. Now, what you can do for this one is you're going to come back to that position you was before, like the chest press. You're going to get the dumbbells up. And what we're going to do is find those shoulder blade pinch again. Keep the weights together in your hands. Now go for a comfortable weight because this is quite a hard movement. It's very isolated. You're going to come back, bending your elbows behind your head, and then pushing up to the ceiling through your triceps. So big explosion, breath out, slow down, 4. We're aiming for 10. 5, 6, 7, 8. The superset we're going to be working on. For the tricep one we're going to be doing, I've got 2 resistor bands. Now you can just do this with 1 if you have to. But what I'm going to do is I'll put them over the top of my door. I'm going to be stood nice and on my knees because obviously I'm too tall. So what you're going to do, come down, sit down onto your bum. So let me just show you as that'll be easier for you to see. So from this position, I'm down on my knees, onto my bum. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the bands down, nice and tight. And what I'm going to focus on is keeping my chest pushed out, engaged. I'll show you another angle in a minute. We're going to squeeze down and push our wrists out, keeping the elbows tucked into my body. This is causing a lot of tension on that tricep. Again, we're aiming for 10 to 12. So there's a nice, powerful movement. 1, hold it for a second, and up. And the elbow wants to come to about 45 degrees, so slightly there. If we come too high up, we lose the tension in our tricep, and now we've got it in our bicep. We want to keep it there, okay? That causes more tension, keeps you under control, and works the muscle a lot harder. Good picture as well. So from here, back down onto my knees. My chest is up, like so. Push down to engage there. My chest has always stayed up. And there we are, okay? Now I'll show you from the back what it looks like from behind. So from here, down onto my bum, coming up, squeeze, squeeze. Okay? So what that exercise is working as a tricep, okay? So this is this little muscle here at the back of your arm. It looks like a horseshoe almost. It's a small muscle. Now this works corresponding with what's called an antagonistic pair, which works with your bicep, okay? So in order to build actually a bigger bicep, you need to be able to work both bicep and tricep because they work as a pair. Now there's a lot of the major muscle groups in your body, so chest with back, shoulders, they're kind of a little bit, they work with like your other movements, so they're kind of like their own group. Obviously quads and hamstrings and your legs and things like that, okay? So again, slow movement tension, you want to be able to hold it, squeeze. After a second you can see how that contraction is now come out in the tricep from there. So up, squeeze out, keep that elbow tucked into your body, okay? If you flare out like that, you're going to be working on the bicep instead, and you're not going to be hitting the right part of your tricep. So chest up, get that engaged, squeeze out through your arm, really trying to focus on, imagine you getting your wrist and squeezing it, but keep it straight and locked, because otherwise if it starts bending, you cause injury and tension on that wrist, which will cause a lot of pain obviously. So again, for that, you're supersetting that, 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps on the tricep extensions. On the skull crushers, aim for around about 8 to 10. That will cause a lot of tension. Again, work with 30-second rest to a minute rest in between each superset, okay? So that's today's workout. I hope you enjoyed this sort of thing. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you all in another workout video.
lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a